Now, if you've been paying attention, you'll know I love these old Maseratis. So let's have a Maserati update, workshop update. So this has just come back from the paint shop, just having a bit of remedial work, getting all spruced up for the summer. So this one will be attending a Spanish rally, which is the Maserati Global Gathering. So the chap who owns this does all these Maserati rallies. And so this will be, you know, clocking up a few miles again this year doing that, and it wants to look its best, which, as you can see, thanks to Nigel and the lads at Kingswell Coachworks, it really is looking good. So the preparation and, you know, sort of servicing, and that's going to start in earnest. That's that one. The Ghibli, the back Ghibli, which was a bit like the silver car, was missing lots of parts. If you remember the silver car, which came in and I had to finish off the restoration of that one. Well, this is a similar issue, missing parts and so on. Now, we've tracked down a lot of the parts for this, courtesy of the chaps at Bill McGrath Maserati, so that's helping. We haven't got everything, there's still some more bits to get. Jackers of MIE managed to, you know, supply us a new old stock radiator for it, which is good. That was another thing that was missing. I mean, that's wonderful when you can find new old stock for cars like this. We can do some more on this soon, and we can show some of that in a future video. So that's that one. And then the load of work's been going on the Maglioli coupe. Remember, we're making all the parts for that, so that's been going on. So let's go next door and have a look at that, see what we've been up to. So the Maglioli coupe, you remember this is Umberto Maglioli's car, famous Italian racing driver, winner of the Mille Miglia, Carrera Panamerica, Targa Floria. You know, he did a lot of stuff back in the day, and this was his own personal car. So Maserati themselves are very excited it exists, and I'm very honoured to be doing the work on it. So this is why I'm going to such lengths to get it absolutely spot on. You remember things like the films of making these swages. I was making all these swages and I made the tooling to make them so that they are spot on. Then that one locates down to there to sort of just finally centralise it. Otherwise it could be sort of slightly off. So obviously this has to have a clearance in it there. Otherwise when you push the metal around, it would, well, you wouldn't be able to, would you? Because it wouldn't, you know, you've got to allow for the thickness of the metal. So yeah, that's what it is. So pop that in there like that. Put that under there, get our bolt. We want to start that. Now it pays to have that off of the ratchet for starting it. So that comes out of there nice and easy. Well, that one's now stuck in there. But not for long, give it a little tap. There you go, that's it. There's our dimple. How's that? You remember I constructed all of those sill sections, didn't I? Made all that stuff and then I fitted it. Now if I whip the door off, we're going to have a look at what's going on, what I've been doing. So I'll pop this off, gives us a bit better access, you see. Now we'll just chuck that over there. We'll handle it with a bit of care, obviously. So the full 6 sill section has been done. So the inner sill, you remember I constructed that, that's in. Then we've got this strengthener section, which is done. Then this landing panel, effectively, that's done. This was the original part I took off and put back on. Now this is the way it is with just short runs of weld. So I've done exactly the same. So that's that. A-post repairs, we've done stuff in here. I unpicked this little strengthener bracket. Now this appears to be a factory thing. Earlier cars didn't have it, but later cars seem to. So I unpicked the old one, got it off and made a new one, let that in. So this is from there down new, this part new from there, and then all in here is all new, all this lot. So this is a bit odd. This is, you know, we'll have a look. I've got some close-ups of this stuff when I was doing it. We'll look at that. Spot welds through here, you know, as it should be. Our little closing panels, I think we might have had a look at those before. Now these get finalised when I make the actual outer seals. Now, the outer seals are in aluminium on a coupe, so that they'll get done and then sorted out. Then this A-post has all been apart. You know, I had this off the car, made a lower piece. And this piece here is new. And then we've done some repairs inside behind here. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And remember, this is one of these trims that I've made. Now we've got the originals, which will go back on it. This is purely on here for the setting up purposes. Now, do you remember I made the film about making this, and I said it'd come in handy, didn't I? Well, there it is. It's coming in handy. That's what we're doing with it. So that's all of that lot done. Repairs to the chassis, the lot done. So that's good stuff. And if I grab the floor pans, we'll just pop them in, and I'll show you, you know, what they're going to look like. So I'll just grab them from next door. Now I'm sure you've been watching the floor pan films, haven't you, of making them? So that's them. That's our brackets that, you know, the sort of the riser goes on, and that's where the carpet will clip onto. We have little poppers go on there. And that's our front. That's our rear. Bit more tapping to do. So the idea of having these returns on it is to emulate the fiberglass floors, which I've talked about that at length, so you're probably bored of that now. And I'm now considering which way to go with fitting these. I'll probably bond them in, and then run some stitches around them as well to, you know, belt and brace, this type of thing. So that's that. And then obviously I've got to refit these, haven't I? These brackets, we talked about that, didn't we? Which is why they're marked up with A, B and C. So there we go. That one go there. That one goes there, doesn't it? And then that one over here. So there we are. So that's what we're doing. So we get all them lined up. Back on. So that's that. So did I say so once more? Like a farmer sowing the seeds. All this, but the same next door. That's the next bit. Actually, that's not the next bit, is it, at all? That's not, I'm talking out my hat. What I'll be doing is I'll probably work on this area next, get this one sorted out. So we've got these sort of punch marks here. Now this car went out to Caracas, Venezuela, isn't it? And we think it's had a bit of repairs done when it was out there. And what we think is that this was to gain access to trying to sort it out. I don't think it was where someone shot it, although it does have the look of that. But yeah, what someone's done is they punched through here to then try and move the outer skin out. But yeah, that's that. That's what we're dealing with. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, how much of this I'll replace, how much I'll try and, salvage. It might be just a case of closing these up. I think that probably suffice, wouldn't it? And we'll salvage it, because it's pretty good. It's only a little piece down here. And then it's into stuff in the boot, but that's for another day. And on that note, I'm cold and I'm going home. So I'll say good night. But doesn't that look lovely? Night all.